Welcome to CITAM ChurchOnline. My name is Karita Mbagara. I'm the Deputy Bishop of Christ is the Answer Ministries. There is a passage in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 1 through to 11, that is of interest to us. And I want to consider it to see the secret to the blessing of God. This is where David is trying to get the Ark of the Covenant from among the Philistines and take it to Jerusalem. But in the process of doing that, they carried it the wrong way by putting it on a cart that was being pulled by oxen. And at one point, the road must have been very rough, and the shaking caused somebody by the name of Uzzah to try and steady the Ark of the Covenant by holding it with his hand. This was not supposed to happen, and therefore God struck Uzzah and he died. We know that the Ark of the Covenant was supposed to be carried by people, and that's why God killed this man. But what I want to focus on is that David abandoned the project for the time being. And what he did is that we are told that the Ark of the Covenant was moved to the house of a person called Obed-Edom, who we are told is a Gittite. And verse 11 records, the Ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite, for 3 months. And the Lord blessed him and his entire household. The presence of God in the life of this man resulted not just blessings for him, but his whole household was blessed. And it was only there for 3 months, a very short time. But the blessing was so obvious that whoever wrote the passage noted it was evident that this man had been blessed. We don't know what sort of blessing, whether it was material blessings that he received, or whether it was good health, or whether his crop or his animals were doing better, whatever, but it was evident. Why? Because of the presence of God. Now, I also want to take note that this Obed-Edom was actually a Gittite. We are told he's a Gittite, meaning he came from Gath. And we know that Gath belonged to the Philistines. The Philistines were the arch enemy of the people of Israel. We don't know how he had come to live here among the Israelites. And I imagine because of being from an ethnic group that was, enemies of Israelites, he must have experienced a bit of discrimination, a bit of maybe marginalization. But that notwithstanding, when the presence of the Lord came to his house, he was blessed. And from that I can say that this story is told also to remind us that it doesn't matter our ethnicity, it doesn't matter our background or the situation that we are going through because of other people. They may have marginalized us, but when the presence of God comes to our life, we become blessed. And it doesn't take long for us to be blessed. And I want to talk to somebody who has been wondering, how can I experience the blessings of God? It's easy. Let the presence of God dwell with you. And when the presence of God dwells with you, you must also be living right. Why do I say this? Before this, the Ark of the Covenant had actually been taken by the Philistines when they were in battle with the Israelites. And they took it to the house of their god called Dagon. And while it was put there, their god Dagon, which was a statue, fell and broke into pieces. After that, they moved the Ark of the Covenant to another city, and there was sickness. People started getting sick because they were not living right. And they moved it to another place, and even the third place, there was trouble, and the people said, no, get this Ark of the Covenant back to where it belongs, to Israel. So they were returning it because it had caused havoc in their place. Why? They were not living right. In other words, it is not just that you need the presence of God, you also need to live right. If you are not living right, then the presence of the Lord, instead of becoming a blessing, becomes a judgment on your life. Those people who profess to know God, but they don't live right, they invite the judgment of God upon themselves. But those who live right and then have the presence of God in their lives, they multiply in every way. God blesses them and increases them like he did in the household of Obed-Edom. I want to urge you, my friend, examine your life and then invite the presence of God in your life, and you'll be surprised at what will be happening as you go on with life. That's what God wants of you. That's what he expects of us. Let us do it. If this is a blessing to you, I want to ask you, share it with your friends and let them let them be blessed like you have been blessed. Thank you very much. See you next time we put out a video like this one. Let me also hear what you think about what I have said. Leave a comment or even a suggestion, or somebody else who experienced the blessing of God because of the presence of God. Thank you very much.